Allies have acquired the boost. System curtailed. Immediate medical assistance needed. Agent out of action. Rogue Stinger Hive detected.
It's a win. Solid work.
Detected. Rogue explosive seeker mine detected. Rogue Stinger Hive detected. An agent needs assistance.
The fight is halfway done.
Agent down.
Supply drop is being claimed by the enemy. The specialization supply drop has fallen into enemy hands.
assistance. Rogue Stinger Hive detected.
You're halfway through the fight.
Vital signs critical.
Supply drop your way.
Agent down. System malfunctioning. System reactivated.
A friendly is claiming the supply drop. Supply drop being claimed by friendly.
Rogue Stinger Hive detected. Agent down. Agent down. Vital signs critical. Agent down. Boost about to activate. Online. Allies are acquiring the boost. Agent down. The boost has been taken by allies. System curtailed. System restored. An agent needs assistance. Rogue explosive seeker mine detected. agent down. Rogue Stinger Hive detected. Rogue Explosive Seeker Mine detected. Rogue Defender Drone detected. Rogue Hive detected.
No one's retreating. The fight continues. Time's almost up. There are no more rogue reinforcements.
Allies are acquiring the boost. The boost has been taken by allies.
Well, think about it. Hold on. Let's have this conversation real quick. I'm glad I'm streaming. So, enable your audio if you haven't. Now, my thought is there is a Pestilence Ridgeway build, which in my opinion, the only real way you should run that is with Striker, because you need RPMs with that Pestilence. You can run it with True Patriot, but True Patriot is better utilized with either an AR or an SMG. That way you can be more agile. But as far as like a Pestilence build, Striker's the way to go. So there's one variant. 2 variant is True Patriot with Ridgeway. 3 variant is all damage. 4 variant is a Hazard Ridgeway build. 5 variant would be the Hunter's Fury Ridgeway build. 6 variant would be the Carnage Ridgeway build that I was talking about. I mean, that's kind of about it. I mean, 7, you can maybe make a pistol build with it. That would be pretty sick, because you're always within 15 meters.
See Negotiators Ridgeway.
See? So that's 8 Negotiators.
Because the bleed can crit, so therefore
Right.
transfer damage.
That's nasty. There's only so many ways you can scramble that egg, if you get what I'm saying. Anyways, I hope everyone got insight to that. What's going on, you guys? Doing a little test here in the Dark Zone. This is Gold God of Death. There you go, and Jacob.
Hello.
You guys can see their armor bars compared to mine right now.
Well, I'm running on this
Let's-
build 1.7, so
Let's see. So Gold God of Death is
1.8.
running. He's at 1.8 with Foundry. And then Jacob, let's scroll down to Jacob. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Here we go. And Jacob is running 1.7. I am running this hardest hitting Ridgeways build, and let's see what this does. So just one clip. Let's see. So start off with you. And you. Oh, I missed
I
a couple
live.
bullets. Yeah, that was good. I missed a couple bullets. But let's see. We'll try that again. I'm pretty sure I could clip both of you with one clip. That's how hard
well,
this
you
shit
gotta
hits.
think though
It's
too.
stupid.
Before he comes out, you should run around in a circle and get your stacks up, so you have the
No,
amplified
they're
damage.
already up.
Oh,
I got him, bruh. So there he is. He could just sit there for all I care. All right. So Jacob's at 1.8.
At 1.7.
Gold God of Death is at 1.8, and Jacob is at 1.7. So it should make sense that I just hit Jacob first, right? And for just testing purposes, we'll just go with the chest. So chest
Wah!
and the chest. One clip, both of them. That's 3.5 million damage
Ah, that's sick.
with one clip.
Mag.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
well, yeah, one mag. Yeah. But still, come on. 3.5 right? I'm doing my math right here.
Mhm.
3.5 million armor with 1 magazine.
That's
We'll go back to
nuts.
the God of Death. He's at 1.8 million. And then we have to scroll all the way down for Jacob. Wow. There he is. And Jacob is at 1.7 million.
You may put a shield out as well so you can test it on that.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, if you guys have shields,
I do.
we could just test the shields. Yeah, that's fine.
Put them shields.
Alright.
Oh, damn. Gone.
Jesus.
And then you guys are already on bleed. That's insane.
That was quick.
What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now this is going to be the hardest hitting Ridgeway's Pride build for PvP that I think that's out there. Yeah, I don't think there's another harder hitting build like this. There's just multiplicative damage on top of amplified damage, on top of base damage, on top of bleed damage, on top of, yeah, you get the picture. Anyways, this is going to be my hardest hitting Ridgeway build for PvP. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Shout out to the DoD, Disciples of Doom, and let's look at it. So this is so far the hardest hitting Ridgeway build I think I've made so far. I know I've made quite a few Ridgeway's Pride builds in PvP. Even just this week, I think I've released 2 or 3. But that's because this chess piece is too good to put away, especially with that Eclipse protocol bag. I mean, it's just money. You get that amplified damage, you get that armor regen if you keep them on a knee, which I'll talk to you guys about here in a second. This also has the damaged armor. This also has the flat out raw damage. This has crit damage, and this has damage to targets out of cover. I mean, pretty much this is what people would call the kitchen sink. You know, when that old saying goes, man, they threw everything at me, including the kitchen sink. Well, this is it. This is what you're going to throw at people, and they're just going to melt. Doesn't even matter. They look at you, they're dead. It's actually pretty funny, because even a few of those clips, they're like shooting me in the back, and I turn around dead. I love it. I just love it. A lot of times, more times than not, I found myself coming back to this build just because it's a lot of fun to use, and just the amount of power that comes from this is just ridiculous. But yeah, enough about that. Let's jump into the build. Starting off at the top, of course, I'm using the Technician specialization. Reason being is I get that 1 skill tier, and I get that skill damage. Also, if you're running an AR build, you can utilize the crit damage mod that comes with the Technician specialization. But besides that, I'm only really using it for the skill damage and the skill tier, because even with an all red build, I still have this explosive seeker mine hitting at 272k, just the straight up damage, and that's with all reds. That's a tier 1 seeker mine. Pretty nice. And then of course it makes them bleed, so that's pretty cool too. And then also with that skill tier and skill power, my PvP damage on my Stinger Hive is just under 95k, and that's without the bleed. So then you factor that in, and then me shooting them, and you're starting to understand the picture. The best part about this is running the Lady Death, you need to be up close and personal. So what I do is I throw out the Seeker Mine, I'll catch one of them on bleed, and then I don't even have to be that close to get that Eclipse protocol proc. So I throw the Seeker Mine, catch them on bleed, and then I can shoot them even at range with the Lady Death and still utilize that 30% amplified damage. And then of course, if I'm within 15 meters of them, it's game over anyways, because I'm using amplified damage from the Lady Death, amplified damage from the backpack, damage to armor from the Lady Death and the Contractor gloves, and I have damage to targets out of cover from my knee pads. So it's pretty much a no-brainer here. The only way you could probably change this build is maybe switching the Walker, Harris & Co. and Sokolov Concern. The other pieces are pretty much best in slot, and you don't want to change them out. I'm using the Walker and Harris, mainly just for that weapon damage. And then the Sokolov Concern, I'm using that for the SMG damage. Getting to the weapons, starting off, here is my primary weapon, the Lady Death. I haven't used the Lady Death in a few builds, and man, this weapon, even after the nerf, it's still ridiculous. My Lady Death is at 100.7k total damage, and that's with 14% SMG damage, 21% crit chance, and 6% damage to armor. Now let me put the PvP modifier on so you can see. Alright, so the Lady Death comes with the talent Breathe Free. While you're moving, you gain stacks. You gain more stacks if you're running, but you just have to move to gain stacks. Each of these stacks, since the nerf, you can see on there, each round consumed amplifies your damage by 60%. This is PvP. And then after the kill, you get increased movement speed and all that jazz. But you get 60% amplified damage from the Lady Death. Add that with the Eclipse protocol, you can see PvP stats are on. I get 30% amplified damage to status affected targets. That doesn't have a cooldown, and that doesn't have a minimum range. So as long as they're on a status effect, I'm doing a crap ton of damage. Now going back to my weapons, here's my secondary. Custom P416 with Sadist. Only real reason I'm using this is because Sadist is on there. I would probably want to take off the crit chance and put on there damage to targets out of cover or damage to armor, but it is what it is. This custom P416 is at 112.4k total damage, and that's with max AR damage, max health damage, and max crit chance. And then my sidearm is the double barrel sawed-off. This one's at 1.5 million total damage, max shotgun damage, 10% damage to armor, and then rate of fire. Reason it has rate of fire is because I had to roll Sadist on there. So my secondary and my sidearm both have Sadist on there. And then that's only if I'm not using the Lady Death. Now the build itself. This is a all red build, so as much damage as I could possibly do. With that being said, my Lady Death is at 100.7k base damage. I have 726k armor and just under 295k health. Looking at the gear items, starting off with the mask. This is the Walker, Harris & Co. mask. What I get from the brand set bonus, 5% weapon damage. For this mask itself, it came with 14.5 weapon damage, so you can get 0.5 damage more right there. I rolled max crit chance at 6%. It came with 11.8 crit damage, and then for that mod, 11.8 crit damage. Going to the Eclipse Protocol backpack. There's starting to be some, what's the word I'm looking for? There is some controversy surrounding this backpack. Reason being is that all gear set items, backpacks, and chest pieces come with an extra talent. You can see right here that all these talents, well, except for that one, all of these talents are active. The problem is that in order to utilize these talents for most of these gear sets, you have to have all 4 pieces, except for the Eclipse Protocol backpack. The Eclipse Protocol backpack, you do not have to have 4 pieces. All this does is give you amplified damage to status affected targets. So you can basically use this like a Wicked backpack, except for Wicked, I believe, has a cooldown, if I'm not mistaken, or is that Trauma? Either way, this build has no cooldown at all. So every time I shoot an enemy within 15 meters, they are bleeding. It's guaranteed. So that's what makes this build so crazy, is that these are best in slot pieces, and like there's no other way around it. Like if you're using the RIDGEWAY's chest piece, you have to use the Eclipse protocol bag. Like, if you're not, you're hurting yourself. You're taking a lot of damage away, and you're including cooldowns when you shouldn't. I believe Wicked is 27 damage for like 27 seconds. Let's just check it out, because I know there's a lot of controversy about this bag, and every time I do a build like this, I'm trying to explain it to the best of my ability, just to get you guys, because the developers have said that these backpacks and chest pieces, the talents are active on purpose, and that's what they intended. I think what people are upset about is that the Eclipse Protocol bag is the only bag that you don't really need the 4 pieces to utilize that talent, and that's why people are getting upset. So right here you can see the Perfectly Wicked versus the Symptom Aggravator. So increases total damage by 18% versus amplifies all damage by 30%. And you can see Perfectly Wicked, it's only active for 27 seconds. I mean, that's good. And the Eclipse bag is only active if that player is on status effect. So I mean, and there are ups and downs to using Wicked and not using Wicked. Because I could shoot a guy, get him to bleed, it could proc my Wicked, and then I could run all the way to the other side of the map, shoot another guy that's not on bleed, and still have that damage because it's there for 27 seconds. However, the Eclipse Protocol bag, it's only active when they're actually on status effects, but it's a huge chunk of damage, like 30% amplified. That's, come on, no brainer. But anyways, I'll just finish the build video right here. But anyways, the Eclipse Protocol bag that I have, 15% weapon damage, crit damage at 10.3, and then for that mod, 11.8 crit damage. We've already gone over the talent, so yeah, that's that. Now the build is surrounded by this exotic right cheer. This is your Ridgeway's Pride chest piece, and this one comes with all reds. So I have max weapon damage, 5% crit chance, and 11.1 crit damage. It comes with that red mod, it comes with the mod slot, so I threw a red one there, 11.9 crit damage. Now, what makes this build amazing is this talent right cheer, Bleeding Edge. Shooting enemies within 15 meters applies a bleed to that target. It also repairs your armor. So based off of how many enemies within the 15 meters are bleeding is based off of how much armor you get per second. So right here is how I want to explain this. You can only get up to 4 stacks if you're playing Conflict. However, if you can down 2, maybe 3 people at a time, keep them on a knee and wait for the other people to come and try to revive them. Reason being is that that enemy that was bleeding that you downed, you gain armor regen. And 9 times out of 10, after you down them, they're still bleeding a little bit. So don't just automatically, hit them or kill them. If you're not full armor, wait a little bit until their bleed is over, gain that armor regen, and then kill them. See what I mean? Play smarter, not harder. And then, of course, best in slot gloves in the whole MF game, contractor gloves. I'm not utilizing the brand set bonus, so I'm not even going to talk about it. However, this one does come with max weapon damage, max crit chance, and 8% damage to armor. And then same goes with the knee pads. Brand set bonus doesn't matter. However, I am utilizing the 15% weapon damage, 8% damage to targets out of cover, and 8.2% crit damage. And finally, the holster. This is Sokolov Concern. From the brand set bonus, I get SMG damage, 10%. Comes with 15% weapon damage, 12% crit damage, and 2.8% crit chance. Now, going to the skills. Explosive Seeker Mine, already talked about it. I have the tier 1 from the specialization. I use this because it applies a bleed to the target, and I can throw it further than my Ridgeway's chest piece talent can be active. That way I can catch them on a bleed from long distance, and then either use my assault rifle with Sadist, or I can bum rush them with the Lady Death and go with all amplified damage. And then for my other skill, Stinger Hive, again, because it applies the bleed effect. So yeah, let's finish off with the stat sheet. So weapon stats here, this is for the Lady Death. 33.5k PvP weapon damage with max crit chance at 60% and 138.9 crit damage. That's with 51.2% headshot damage and 14% armor damage. Don't forget about the amplified damage from the weapon and the amplified damage from the backpack. And also don't forget about the damage to targets at a cover from the knee pads. Then offensive tab, we have 104.5 all weapon damage bonus with 39% SMG damage bonus. So that's 143.5% damage bonus when I'm using my Lady Death. Pretty insane. This is why you're starting to understand why this is the hardest hitting Ridgeway build. Defensive tab, 726k armor with 295k health. I have 10% explosive resistance and hazard protection, but that's because of my watch level. Remember, I am only watch level 764, so if you're higher than that, you might have higher numbers in some places, and if you're lower than that, you might have lower numbers in some places. But that is it. This is the hardest hitting Ridgeway's Pride build for PvP. I currently can't find a better build. I mean, I'm running a hazard build with the Ridgeways, but the burst damage from this build is just too much to ignore. Like, people really melt. Like, jeez. Did you guys see the amount of gameplay I have with this build? It is ridiculous. Every game, it seems I'm clipping at least 2 or 3 people. But alright, that's it. Hit that thumbs up, like always. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm Kamikazevondoom, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Rogue defender drone detected. An agent needs assistance. Serious trauma detected. Boost about to activate. Boost online. Allies are acquiring the boost. The boost has been taken by allies. Agent down. Rogue defender drone detected. Agent down.